Did you know that photography is all about shutters, apertures and ISO? But it's how they come together in your camera that matters. So I have an instant camera here, plastic lens, limitation in terms of what I can do with it. But as long as I know what that limitation is, then I can actually work with that. So here, I'm going to let that print away as we talk, and it's going to develop in front of our eyes. So phones, shutters, apertures and ISO, but the aperture is fixed. So therefore making shallow depth of field is very difficult. That's why it's computational photography. The camera itself is actually using its computer to help you. Instant film camera. Yes, shutter, aperture and ISO. Shutter fixed, aperture fixed, and the ISO is basically the film itself. So it's plastic, good, not great quality, but it can be fun. Point and shoot, digital for sure. It's got a good lens on it, but small sensor means that any aperture is going to give you a very large depth of field. So blurring a background is extremely difficult. Full frame camera. Probably in many ways the best of the lot because the sensor size is big enough so that any aperture that I have, particularly if it's a small number like f1.8, f2, which is a physically big aperture, it's going to blur the heck out of any background that we have. Micro Four Thirds camera. Great camera, smaller sensor, so same aperture number, doesn't give me quite the same depth of field. And the smaller the sensor size, the more the ISO is going to cause me some trouble. So they have to use a lot of computational stuff to be able to help make that work. Your standard digital SLR, a lot of people start off with these or with the Micro Four Thirds. This is a crop sensor camera. Again, it's a smaller sensor, bigger than the Micro Four Thirds, a little bit more depth of field, but not as much as the full frame camera. So again, understanding what the limitations are there. Film photography, not gone by any means. All I have to do with this camera is put in a C41 process, black and white film. What does that mean? It means I can shoot black and white, but I don't have to send it off to get developed. The chances are, in a big city, you'll have somebody who'll develop color film, and this black and white develops as a color. So really, that's what this channel is all about. We have this dedicated studio that allows us to go live. So there's no editing going on. We try to get the energy that comes in from teaching directly to you without losing any of that in an edit, which is quite easy to happen. So basically, photography is all about apertures, shutters and ISO, but it's how they come together in your particular camera that matters. And that's what this channel is all about.